शङ्खचक्रधर सर्वेशा जनार्दन जगन्नाथ शङ्खचक्रधर सर्वेशा श्रितजनपाल श्रीनिवास श्रितजनपाल श्रीनिवास कलियुगवरद श्रीवेङ्कटेश श्रीधरा केशव श्रीधरा केशव श्रीकर शुभकर ऋषिकेश जनार्दन जगन्नाथ शङ्खचक्रधर सर्वेश अगणित गुणगण अनन्तरूपा आनन्दामृत अमित प्रताप श्रीधरा केशव श्रीकर शुभकर ऋषिकेश जनार्दन जगन्नाथ शङ्खचक्रधर सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Let us chant the verses in the first chapter. You may repeat once. Chapter 1. Atha Jīvan-sutrāni prastuyante yajñātva abhyasya ca जीवनं सुखाय भवति जीवने द्विविधं कार्यं प्राप्तपरिस्थितिप्रतिकारः स्वभविष्यनिर्माणं च तत्र अन्यस्य अन्येन जीवनं जीवितुं न शक्यते परस्परं साहाय्यं तु संभवति। Now in that 1.5 fifth sutra, yesterday those who have taken the sheets, there is mistake in the Kannada. It is sahayyam, not sahayyam. Sahayam. So sa is dirgha, sa. Similarly in the 1.6, the sixth sutra also. Sahayyasya swikarane pradaneva ahankaro na karaniyah Jīvanam vinayenaiva shobhate Tasmat svajīvana bharam Svikritya Sarva prayatnena Tat safali kuryat. Right. So in the first chapter, Pujya Guruji is indicating the qualifications necessary for gaining knowledge. The first thing is, let us understand, if we want to change our life, we alone can do it. Nobody else can do it for us. Knowing the right way of living and practicing the right way of living, both are important. And this can be done by none other than ourselves. Others can help, sahayam tu sambhavati. Others can help, but real effort we alone have to put forth. So even while giving help or receiving help, what should not be there? Ahankaraha na karaniyaha. There should not be any kind of ego. People who are egoistic will never learn. They are like the peak of the mountain. Water cannot collect there. Water can collect only at the lowest plane. So egoistic people, they never learn anything. So keep this ego aside, then only you can learn. Nothing wrong in receiving guidance, nothing wrong in giving guidance, but it should be very clear, let it not be out of ego. Somebody asked Albert Einstein, "Sir, you appear to be the greatest scientist the world has ever seen, because you have refuted even the theories of Isaac Newton." Somebody told Einstein. Einstein said, no, you are mistaken. See, whatever I saw by standing on the shoulders of Newton. Newton did something because of which I could start from where he left. So whatever I saw, it was not because of me, because I was standing on his shoulders, I could see. So there is no ahankara there. It is only gratitude. Ahankaraha na karaniyaha Jīvanam vinayena eva shobhate. True life becomes beautiful only with humility. And true sign of knowledge is humility. The more and more you become knowledgeable, the more and more you become humble. So what is the proof that one person is knowledgeable? The proof of knowledge is humility. Vidya dadati vinayam. When Isaac Newton was on the deathbed, somebody asked, "Sir, you must be indeed proud of yourself. So many mysteries you have solved about this universe. So you must be indeed proud." Isaac Newton replied, "Instead of feeling proud, I feel like a child who is picking up the seashells on the seashore while the infinite ocean lies in front of me, undiscovered, unexplored." See that humility. Whatever I know is only little seashells here and there. The infinite ocean of knowledge is there, undiscovered. So all great people in all fields, you will find this one quality in them. Tremendous amount of humility. And this humility helps them to learn more and more about life. So thus the chapter ends saying that after having taken up the responsibility of transforming yourself, may you succeed in life. Now let us go to chapter 2. Let us chant verses. There are totally 10 sutras. Let us chant them. Sarve janaha safalatam aptum yogyaha samarthaha cha yasmat swatantrata manushya janmano visheshata atra karma jnana ichha adi swatantriyam upalabdham atra karma jnanechhadi swatantriyam upalabdham tacca utkarshartham yoktavyam natu swapara vinashaya tadartham apekshitaha sarvashaktayah swasmin eva nihitaha shaktayastu kaya vang mano buddhi sthita bahihi sadhana bhutascha tasam abhivyaktyaर्थम tu jīvane sreshtham lakshyam avasyakam dvividham hi lakshyam prathamikam charamam cha etayor madhye samanjasyam avasyakam yatha moksha praptaye chitta shuddhihi. Right. So, name of the second chapter is Perform to Potential. How can we make use of our potential, God-given talents, abilities to the best of our use and attain success in life? This is the topic of the second chapter. So what does the first sutra say? Sarve janaha safalatam aptum yogyaha samarthaha cha. Sarve janaha, all of us, we are eligible, yogyaha samarthaha, capable of attaining success. Every one of us, we are capable and eligible to attain success in life. How can you say yasmat? Because swatantrata manushya janmanaha visheshata. Human beings have this unique feature, unique ability, which is not present in anyone else, plants, animals, etc. There is something unique about human beings. And what is that? Swatantrata, freedom. Human beings have this unique feature called freedom. What kind of freedom do we have? Atra karma jnana ichha adi swatantriyam upalabdham. What are the kinds of freedom we have? We have freedom with respect to karma, action. We have freedom with respect to jnana, knowledge. And we have freedom with respect to ichha, desire. We have the freedom to desire, to know, and to act. This freedom is available. So how should we use this God-given freedom? Tacca utkarshartham yoktavyam. May we use this God-given freedom for the welfare of ourselves and the welfare of all. For lifting ourselves up, for evolving ourselves. Natu swa para vinashaya. May not this freedom be utilized for vinasha, for the destruction of swa and para, of oneself or of the others. When swatantra is there, swatantrata, the freedom is there, but what about the strength, the potential? Tadartham apekshitaha sarvashaktayah swasmin eva nihitaha. Whatever potential is necessary, strength is necessary, power is necessary, everything is there, swasmin eva, in ourselves only. All powers are already there within us. Where do we have these potential? Shaktaya tu kaya, vang, mano, buddhi stita. These potentials are there in our kaya, body, vang, speech, mano, mind, buddhi, intellect. These potentials are there in us in the form of body, mind, speech, intellect, and also outside, bahihi sadhana bhutascha, also as various resources in the world. Up to this much we will see. So what is the essential message? The essential message is we all can be successful in life because we have freedom and we have highly evolved equipments to achieve success. Two things are necessary. One is equipment needed to attain success. Number two, freedom. As far as human beings are concerned, his equipment is the most evolved equipment because it has body, mind, intellect, speech, etc. So many faculties are there. Highly advanced device it is compared to animals or plants. Plants don't have any freedom. And the freedom of movement itself is not there for them. Animals have freedom, but they are all pre-programmed. In Satyuga, the cow was eating grass. In Kali Yuga also, cow is still eating grass only. There is no freedom. Dogs used to bark. Even now, dogs are barking. In the future also, dogs will continue to bark. With respect to everything, they are pre-programmed. There is no choice available. There is no freedom available. Even their faculties are limited by all means. But that is not the case with human beings. Therefore, we can conclude that human beings can succeed in any field. And the beauty of this world is there are infinite branches of knowledge. There are infinite fields where you can succeed. You may not be good in one field, doesn't matter. There is always another field available for you where you can succeed. There is a very touching story about the great scientist Thomas Alva Edison. So when Edison was a child, a letter was given to him from the school, and the principal told, you give it only to your mother, don't open it. So this child went and gave this letter to the mother. And when mother read that letter, in her mind, tears welled up in her eyes. And when this little child saw mother crying, he asked, Mother, what happened? Why are you crying? Then the mother said, the letter says that, Madam, your child is very brilliant, very smart, and we don't have good teachers to train your child. So therefore, better teach your child yourself. Our teachers are not capable of training your child. This is what she told her son. After many years, Edison became very famous, world famous scientist. So somewhere he was clearing up some table or cupboard or something, and there he found this old letter. He just opened that letter. Till then he had not seen that letter. And then he saw what was written. What was written was, your child is a mentally retarded child. So therefore, we cannot allow your child to study in this school. This was what was written. But what did she tell her child? Just the opposite. And when Edison read this letter, he wept for hours. And he said, this Edison was born as a mentally retarded child, but it is because of my mother that today, whatever I am. So everyone has some or the other ability. The only thing is we don't know in which field we are capable. In which field we are talented, we don't know. But definitely, we have all these potentials. The freedom is also given to you. Many times we grade or judge children based on their academic performance. It's a big mistake we do. There's a very interesting cartoon which I had seen some few years back. So in that cartoon, it was actually making fun of this educational institutions where they gave too much of importance to these marks, etc. So in line, they were all seated. One fish, one elephant, one snake, one giraffe, one lion, and the teacher is a monkey. And there is a nearby tree. And this monkey teacher is telling everyone with a stick, see, whoever climbs this tree fastest and reaches to the topmost of the tree, he is number one. He is the most brilliant. He is the smartest. He is rank number one. Who all are standing there? One fish. You got it? The point is, each one is talented in their own field. A fish can swim. The field of its perfection is water, underwater. Elephant is talented in its own way. It has got strength. If you say this is the criteria to test whether you are good or bad, climbing the tree, because there is a monkey. Monkey can climb fast. You see? So such narrow-minded vision was being criticized in that cartoon. And it's very, very relevant in modern times. In Bhagavad Gita there is a verse, Srayan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushthitat swadharme nidhanam shreyah paradharmo bhayavaha. One should stick to one's own swadharma alone. This is the message. The world is infinite. The fields are infinite. You choose the field according to your swadharma. What is that which you are made for? That you must understand. Now, how do you know what is my swadharma? That about which I am passionate about, that is my swadharma. I love doing it. I don't care about criticisms. I don't care about praises. I don't care about honor and dishonor. I just love doing something. I don't care about failures and success. I love every challenge in my field. If there is something in life, understand that is your swadharma. You are not bothered about the pay. If there is something which you just love doing, understand that is your swadharma. That is the one thing you must do. Swadharme nidhanam shreyah, Bhagavan says. It is better to die doing one's own swadharma. Paradharmat swanushthitat. It may be possible that there is something else which you may be able to do it successfully, in a very good way. But you know that, that heart is not there. You may be able to do it well. Bhagavan says, no, that becomes your paradharma. That thing which you are able to do it well, you are passionate about. You don't care about pay. Don't care about honor, dishonor, etc. If there is something, that is your swadharma. Many times in the modern days we find a student chooses a line of profession, and what are the normal criteria which he goes after? How much does that profession, how much demand it has in the society? How much will I get paid for it? This is another one. What are the branches which has demand? And what are the branches where my friends have taken? So many things are there. Never go after all that. What is it that you really want to do? Choose that alone. Sometimes parents also force their children. Many times we hear parents saying, I could not become a doctor or an engineer, at least let my son fulfill my unfulfilled dreams. You are literally entering into hell if you are You have such concepts. See, you may be having unfulfilled dream. Why are you trying to force your dream on your children? It is possible that your son may have talents in some other field. May not be engineering or medicine, maybe in arts, music, sports. Now what does this parent do? He is not bothered about his dream, his child's dream. He is only bothered about his own unfulfilled dream. Now what happens? Bhagavan says, paradharma bhayavaha. If you force your child, maybe the child may listen to you, the son or the daughter may listen to you. Let us assume that he is, because the father could not become a doctor, he wanted his son to become the doctor, and now the son is in the medical college. Now he has no interest in studies. Now just imagine what happens to this son. Will he enjoy studies? He will not enjoy studies. Those 5 years will be miserable days. Number one, he has no interest in the subject. Number two, he will find others who are faring well, and therefore what happens to him? He starts feeling inferiority complex. All these things happen. We see in the society. Okay, let us assume that he has passed medicine. He has become a doctor. After doctor, what? Again he will have to face what kind of problems? Medical problem, which he doesn't like. So not only that 5 years he is miserable, he has also ensured himself that he is miserable for the rest of his life. There are very many people rotting like this in the society. Their interest is in something else, but because of some reason they have not chosen that field. They have chosen some other field and they are living a miserable life. Paradharmo bhayavaha. It is fraught with fear. You will never enjoy your life if this is the case. Choose what your heart calls. There is a spiritual defect also when you take up something which you don't like. What happens is, there are unfulfilled vasanas, unexhausted vasanas which are there. Now you are creating new vasanas. When you are doing something which you don't like, you are creating new vasanas. Old vasanas are remaining unexhausted, new vasanas are being created. More the vasanas, more the impurity of the mind, more the impurity of the mind, more you are bound to this world. So therefore what? Make use of your swatantriyam. Make use of your freedom. You are free to choose the field. Lord has given you all the freedom. Potentials are given. Equipment is given. Choose what actually you want to do. Then you will enjoy your life. Right? When you choose something which you are not made for, you will naturally encounter failures. There is something called this SSB interview. I don't know whether you are aware. That is how this officers are selected in the armed forces. Army, Air Force, Navy, etc. Officers are selected through that SSB interview. Service Selection Board interview. So it's a 5 days interview. Normally, if 100 of them, they are shortlisted, out of that maybe 1 or 2 may be selected. So they have this 5-day interview. Anyone officer here? Nobody? Okay. So they have this 5 days interview, right? And the final day, they will just call out the chest numbers of those who have been selected. They will not tell why you have been failed or anything. They will not tell. They will only tell the chest numbers. We are all numbered. We have a number there, not the name. So just before announcing the results, they normally say, see, though you are not selected, don't feel dejected. We are looking for certain class of people. A certain type of personality we want. Okay. It is possible that you may not be selected, but don't feel dejected. You may be good in some other field. See, there are many people who have attended this SSB interview and they have failed, but they have fared well in others. So they give a list. Like for example, T.N. Sheshan, he has failed in this SSB interview. APJ Abdul Kalam, he has also failed. Shah Rukh Khan has failed. Amitabh Bachchan has failed. So therefore, remember this interview is for 5 days. Huh? So 5 days you are done. All kinds of things are there. Intellectual intelligence test is there. Group task is there. Interview is there. And then lot of physical things are there. And nobody knows how much you are scoring. In the end, they will only tell whether you are selected or not. So just before that, they give this, what you call, solace. So they say, there are so many great people who have attended this and failed. Maybe the square pebble is not suited for the round pebble. You may be a round pebble, but now what we are looking for is a square hole. We are looking for a square hole. You may be a round pebble. You may be better fit in some other profession. So don't worry. And then they say maybe 1 or 2 or sometimes no one. Unfortunately, nobody is selected. So the point is this, each one has got a swadharma. We may not be efficient in all fields, we may be definitely good in some field. Identify that field and dedicate yourself into it. Yes, because we all have got freedom, so all of us can be successful. Now, a warning like thing is given. What is given? Taccha utkarshartham yoktavyam natu swa paravinashaya. May you use this freedom, may you develop these talents, may you use this potential for the welfare of all, not for your own or others' destruction. The freedom is given to you, may you not misuse this freedom. In the modern times we find the small children are very brilliant, smart, intelligent. Yes or no? You just look these modern kids, how quickly they learn things, especially these electronic gadgets. The old people, they don't know how to even switch off the mobile or put the mobile in silent mode. They know only 2 buttons at the most. Especially during yajnas we see. Mobile is ringing and this person doesn't know how to handle it. There's such a big generation gap we see. Here is this old man who knows only 2 buttons. One is red button, one is green button. To receive the call, to cut the call. That's all he knows. There are so many other buttons he doesn't know what it is meant for. But look at these little kids. They are so comfortable with all these complicated, isn't it? And look at their textbooks. Those things which we had studied in colleges, they are studying in their school now. Such a heavy syllabus. They are very smart, very intelligent. This is a God-given talent. But how are they using it? How are they using? Majority of them. Recently I received a very nice joke in the internet. I'll just read it to you. So a man is introducing his family members. Right? So this man says, "This is my wife, Google Vasanta. If you ask one question, she would give many relevant and irrelevant answers. This is my son, Facebook Kuttappan. He makes sure our personal matters reach the whole colony. This is my daughter, Twitter Kalyani. Whole colony follows her. This is my WhatsApp mother, Tangamani. She buzzes all day commenting on everything. And I am Orkut Tangappa, I have become irrelevant." So the modern children, they are very brilliant. But what are they using their talents for? Chit-chatting, gossiping, killing time, yes or no? How do they waste their time? They have the talent, they have they have intelligence, everything is there, but how are they using their intelligence? Swa para vinashaya. Technology has become a curse nowadays. Children don't have time to study. They have time for every other nonsense. Isn't it? It has become a great distraction nowadays. Almost all the parents have the same complaint. Swamiji tell us how to control these children. They are addicted to TV, internet and this video games and whatnot. Right. I'm sure you are aware of that World Trade Center tragedy in America. September 11 attack. 2001, right? Yeah. See, what must be their intelligence of those terrorists? Getting trained in America, using the planes of America, right? Hijacking those planes and crashing it into the buildings of the America. Just imagine the intelligence and the planning behind that. Is it a joke? Not only the two buildings, Pentagon, Department of Defense, there also they landed one plane. The world's most powerful country, as they say, and see, a few, maybe I think 19 terrorists, they did it. A few of them. What must be their intelligence? Just imagine. But what is it that they have used it for? Destruction. Swa para vinashaya. 3,000 people killed. Almost $3 trillion loss it was, they say. All the so-called scientists, nuclear scientists and all, what are they doing? Puja Guruji used to say, guided missiles in the hands of misguided people. Nowadays we have guided missiles. But those missiles are in the hands of whom? Misguided people. This is the condition. World War II, almost 10 crore people died. Just imagine, almost it's like a nation being wiped out. I don't know whether you are aware, most of the science and technology has really grown because of these wars. How to kill others. All the so-called microwave technology, radar technology, everything has been developed during the World War times. Right? The thing is, there is no dearth for talents, abilities, but where are we using our talents? In the wrong direction. Right. Now, the question is, how to develop these talents? How to develop our potential? So that is present in Sutra 7. Tāsām abhivyaktyaर्थam tu jīvane sreshtham lakshyam avashyakam. So it is pointed out that we all have talents, we all have abilities. Abilities at different level, bodily, physical, mental, intellectual. These abilities we have, talents we have freedom also, but how to enhance it, how to strengthen it, how to build these abilities. So here the tip is given. What is the tip? Tāsām abhivyaktyaर्थam. In order to bring it out, what has to be done? Jīvane sreshtham lakshyam avashyakam. You must have a sreshta lakshya, a noble goal. Your potential can be really, you can enhance it only when you have a goal in life. Many times the best in us comes out when our life is at stake. These are the only two possibilities. Either your life must be threatened or you must have an inspiring goal, then only the best comes out of you all the time. In Japan, they had this fishing company. Japanese, they love this fish very much. But one disadvantage is that wherever their island is, the fish don't grow there in the nearby waters. So they have to go deep into the ocean to fetch fish. But then there is one disadvantage. What is the disadvantage? By the time you travel all along to get that fish, and when you come back, the fish become not fresh, become stale. It doesn't fetch much money. So they started thinking what to do. So then they thought maybe we'll fix a freezer in the boat. And they did that. So they would catch the fish, put it in the freezer and bring it. But then again, the fish is not fresh. Then they started thinking what to do. So then they thought, okay, let us build a tank, water tank, and let us stuff the fish into that water tank. They did that. But then all the fish, fin to fin, they were stuffed inside. Splashing water all over. After some time they get tired, exhausted. The people in Japan, they knew this fish is also not fresh. No, they were thinking what to do to get fresh fish. Then they came up with an idea. You know what that idea is? In the water tank, along with the fish, they would put one small shark. A fish-eating shark. Now what happened? All the fish, they have to remain alert because there is one shark there. So out of this fear of the shark, they would always remain alert and they started getting fresh fish. They did this research and they found this is the best thing. Whenever our life is threatened, we use our potential to the maximum. A funny story I read. There was a rich man, he wanted to get his beautiful daughter married. Daughter was very beautiful and he was very rich. There were very many youngsters who indeed wanted that alliance. So then he declared, any youngster is most welcome to marry my daughter. But there is only one condition. You have to come on this particular day. So all those youngsters there gathered. They were all made to line up in one swimming pool. And then he declared, anyone who crosses the swimming pool and reaches the other side will have my daughter. Immediately all these youngsters, they removed their shirt and all, to just plunge into the swimming pool. And just before they were about to plunge, few helicopters started flying and they put alligators and crocodiles into that swimming pool. Snakes and crocodiles and scorpions and whatnot. These youngsters were stunned. Nobody jumped. There was no one who was ready to jump into that swimming pool. So these youngsters, they were all very depressed. They all gathered together and they were discussing. I am sure this rich man is not going to get anyone as his son-in-law. Impossible. Who will jump into this water? And suddenly they heard a flash. Somebody had jumped. And they saw one youngster escaping from every crocodile. And then reaching the other side. Everyone was stunned. What a courageous person. Everyone gathered around him. This rich person also went, congratulations to you. And this person was panting, was trying to regain his breath. Congratulations, how did you do it? He was asking. And this person, after gaining breath, he was trembling with anger. He said, tell me who pushed me into this swimming pool. Somebody had pushed him. He did not jump. In the same way, sometimes God also pushes us into certain situations. And there we will have no other go but to use our potential to the maximum. Sometimes we are pushed. Nobody will enter into such thing. But Bhagavan pushes us into such situations. Because He knows what we are capable of. We may not be having faith or confidence in our ability, but He has that faith. So sometimes he does it. Right. Sometimes the goal becomes the inspiration to put forth the best effort. A police was chasing a thief. He could not catch him. So the senior officer said, "Shame on you! You are a police, you could not catch the thief? Tell me the reason." The police said, "Sir, I ran for my duty, he ran for his life." There is a big difference. Who is more inspired? I ran for my duty, he ran for his life. Isn't it? Higher the goal, higher the inspiration. Lakshyam is necessary. In electronics, those who know, capacitor gets charged when it is connected to a voltage potential. And you will find the capacitor charges faster when it is connected to a higher voltage. Higher the voltage, faster the charging. Isn't it? In the same way, higher the goal, greater the inspiration we derive from within ourselves. Greater the potentials become manifest. Sometimes we ourselves, we can't believe that what I did it, I can't believe. I didn't know that such potentials exist in me. There's a very touching incident. This is about a lady called Arunima Sinha. You must have heard of her. She is the first female amputee to climb Mount Everest. Her story is so touching. You can find the video in the YouTube. She is describing what all she had gone through. So she was a national volleyball player. So one day she was going to attend some interview. She was going to Delhi. She was going from Lucknow to Delhi. So in the night she was traveling in the train. So at that time, it's in 2011. Yeah, 2011. Somewhere in April. So she was traveling in the train, and then some rowdies, robbers, they surrounded her. They wanted to snatch her gold chain and the bag. It was a general compartment. Nobody dared to interfere because there were 5, stout fellows surrounding her. She tried to resist, but it was of no avail. So when they found that she is resisting, they just pushed her out of the running train. And unfortunately, at the same time, there was another train coming from the opposite direction. Her head banged into the other train, and she was left there on the track in the night. And these, tires also went onto her legs. Leg was cut, full of fractures. Even in her spine, there were 3 fractures. So she was lying in a pool of blood on that track in the night, totally helpless. She was yelling, screaming, but who is there in the night? Somewhere, in some village, maybe in some forest, she was fallen. And she was lying there, helpless, in pain. And she could see little rats coming and eating her leg, because flesh was hanging, the thigh was hanging from her jeans, all bones broken. And later, next day at 7 o'clock in the morning, some villagers saw her. Immediately they lifted her, put her to the nearby hospital. And the hospital condition, in villages, blood was urgently needed. So the doctors found that there was no blood. So they themselves donated blood from themselves. Anesthesia, it was not there. But the leg has to be amputated, otherwise she would not survive. So they had to literally cut her leg without giving anesthesia. Lot of pain. Then somehow this message went that national volleyball player is suffering like this. Immediately sports minister got involved. He immediately shifted her into AIIMS trauma center in Delhi. So there 4-5 months she was there. And varieties of reports started coming in the newspaper That Arunima, she did not have ticket, therefore she jumped from the, train. She was trying to commit suicide and all kinds of rubbish. She was just reading what to say. Well, she was there in the hospital. Now her dreams of becoming a great player in volleyball, that was squashed. Then suddenly she had she had an inspiration. If not volleyball, why not mountaineering? Then she shared this, idea with others. Others said, what? Are you mad? One leg is artificial. The other leg has got iron rod. Your spine is cracked in 3 places and you are planning to climb Mount Everest? Are you mad or what? Better get some job from some government, because anyway government is ready to give job for you. Get some job, peacefully spend your time. That's the thing to be done. But she said, no, I have this desire to do something great in my life. Nobody was supporting, but her family was supporting. Relatives, friends and all, they'd only discouraged. But now then there are 2 problems. If she had to do mountaineering, number 1, training. She has to get trained from a good institute. And number 2, sponsorship. It would need minimum 50 lakhs to get the sponsorship. And who will sponsor her? So then finally she went to one lady, Madam Bachendri Pal. She went to her and she said, see, this is my desire. That lady also was stunned. She had already climbed Everest in 1984. So she said, but in your heart, if you feel that you can do it, go ahead. You have already conquered the Everest. Go ahead. So through her, she got the sponsorship, she got the training. Ultimately, in 2013, this is after 2 years after this incident, train incident, 2013, April 1, she started off. And it is said she took 3 hours to go from the road to the base camp, whereas others took 2 minutes. Just to start from the road to the base camp, she took 3 hours. Others took 2 minutes. And even in that 3 hours, that leg became swollen because all those wounds had not healed. Bones were there. It had become red. The Sherpa who was supposed to guide her, he said, what is this? I am supposed to guide you. I can't take you. Looking at your condition, it's not possible. You can't do this. Even the healthy people can't do. How can you? There were other 5-6 people. They said, no, please, somehow. She is very stubborn. She is unyielding. At least this is her wish. You please go with her. So unwillingly, this Sherpa joined her. So slowly she was climbing. Somehow she reached that camp 3. They have certain levels. Till then there was no problem. But after that, the ice became very, very different. There were this blue ice and green ice. And now her artificial leg started slipping because it is made of metal. And then she used to dig hole, put the leg and then go. Dig hole in the ice. And then slowly she started climbing. Slowly. And then she reached some camp 4 or something, I don't know. At a particular level, after which it is said the climbing is really, really tough. And they normally climb in the night. And in the night through her, searchlight, which they connect here, she could see dead bodies lying here and there in the Everest. Many dead bodies are there. Many have tried and failed. And she had to climb over these dead bodies because the rope is the same. Holding on to the rope, you have to climb. The anchor is the same. So climbing onto these dead bodies, she had to cover. And when she saw these dead bodies, she prayed to God, oh God, if at all I reach there, I dedicate this success of mine unto these people who could not fulfill their dreams. And then she started climbing. Ultimately, she reached a place, Hillary step or something, Hillary step. That is one step, below Mount Everest peak, one step below. She reached there. And at that time, the Sherpa tells her, see, your oxygen is getting over, better come back. It's over. Maybe another 1 hour. If you don't come back, you will die there only. You can try this another time. if you are alive, isn't it? Why unnecessarily take your cylinder? Better come back, the cylinder is over already. She said, nothing doing. With great difficulty, I have got this sponsorship of 50 lakh. Who will sponsor me again? So nothing to, let me die on the peak. I don't care. Let me walk. She went on. After 1.5 hours from that particular point, she reached the peak. And after reaching the peak, with tears of gratitude, thanking the Lord, she had a piece of paper where she had expressed her gratitude unto the Lord, which she was carrying with her. Placing it on the snow, right, she started coming down. And by that time, the oxygen was almost over. She was feeling giddiness. She almost fainted. Oxygen was finished. And believe me or not, something happened. Suddenly the climate changed. The weather became very bad. And one British climber, he was coming up. And when he saw that this, weather has become very bad, he had 2 cylinders of oxygen. So he thought that I should get down fast. And this is an extra baggage. So immediately he dropped 1 cylinder and went. Returned back. The Sherpa saw this, that 1 extra cylinder at this place. Immediately he went, got that extra cylinder, fitted it to her, and she revived back. And then the Sherpa said, Arunima, if you had, the fact that you got cylinder at this stage shows that God is with you. Otherwise it is impossible. And then she started climbing down. And now climbing down was also not easy. As she was climbing down, holding onto the rope, her hand had become red. Now it is said, any limb in ice, it goes through 3 stages. First it becomes red, then it becomes blue, then it becomes black. And once the limb becomes black, it has to be amputated. There is no other go. So the first stage is becoming red, then it becomes blue. Her hand had become red. So as she was climbing down through the rope, this artificial leg came out. Now what to do? She holding one artificial leg in one hand, holding the rope in another hand, she started sliding down. And when she reached a rock, she sat there, fitted this artificial leg once again, and then again started climbing down. Just imagine what she must have undergone. And then from camp 4 to the base camp, normally they take 15 hours. She took 28 hours. But ultimately, she came back. And you know, the whole thing took around 52 days. April 1 she left. She reached the peak on May 22. 52 days to climb. 52 days to climb. So ultimately when she came back to this base camp, there the people were there. They thought Arunima is gone. She cannot come back alive. But when they saw her alive and back, they were stunned. In 2015, Government of India gave her Padma Shri Award for her courageous feat. She is the first female amputee to climb Mount Everest. And she dedicated her, achievement to Lord Shiva and Swami Vivekananda. They were her inspiration. What I am trying to say is, when your goal is so high, things must happen in the world, things will happen so that you will attain that goal. And in that process, you will bring out all your talents and abilities. It will come. So therefore it is true, tasam abhivyakyartham jivane sreshtham lakshyam avashyakam. The best comes out whenever there is a crisis. When do the children study for exam? Only one day before the exam, normally. Isn't it? The whole 1 year is there, they will not study. They will study only the few days prior. Right. Now, how to set goals? That is the next topic taken up. So, what does Puja Guruji say? Dvividham hi lakshyam prathamikam charamam cha. There should be an immediate goal and there should be an ultimate goal. Setting goals, that is the topic. Etayor madhye samanjasyam avashyakam. There should be a harmony between your immediate goal and the ultimate goal. Can you give an example? Yes. Yatha moksha praptaye chitta shuddhihi. Just like in order to attain moksha, liberation, the purity of mind. So there is an immediate goal. So even while you are trying to attain the immediate goal, you must inch forward towards your ultimate goal. Yesterday also we were mentioning this. Intelligent living is this, what? Even when you are handling the present situations, responding to the situations, you must have eye upon your ultimate goal. So you must handle your situations. You must attain your immediate goals in such a way that you are approaching nearer your ultimate goal. Now this example is beautiful. Just like purity of mind in attaining the goal of liberation. So liberation is the ultimate goal. What is liberation? Knowing myself as I am. Knowing myself to be infinite. Knowing myself to be immortal. Knowing myself to be pure consciousness. Knowing myself as I am is the goal of life, which is called as moksha. But what is the requirement for it? Purity of mind is the requirement. If I want to know myself as I am, I must quieten the mind. If I have to quieten the mind, I have to purify the mind, because only a pure mind can be quietened. So only a person who has a pure mind can quieten the mind at the seat of meditation. At the seat of meditation, when the mind becomes absolutely quiet, I come to know who I am. And who am I? I am infinite, immortal, blissful, Satchit Ananda, Supreme Self I am. This is the highest goal which anyone can keep in life. The purpose of life is only this. So, but then what is the requirement? Purity of mind. How to gain the purity of mind? Purity of mind can be gained when you handle situations in life intelligently. What do you mean handling situations in life intelligently? Intelligent handling of situation means responding positively to every situation. What do you mean positively responding to every situation? Positively responding means not allowing your mind to become negative. Allowing only positive thoughts to flow through your mind. So when you are maintaining the cheerfulness of your mind, the peace and calm of your mind, not allowing the mind to get disturbed, then you are handling every situation intelligently. If the external situations are disturbing your mind, understand you are facing life unintelligently. So a seeker of liberation is the one who is very, very alert. Every situation is alert. How to handle the situation beautifully in such a way that the situation becomes a stepping stone to attain liberation. Every situation should become a stepping stone. It should not become a hurdle. So every situation is an opportunity to purify my mind. This is the way a seeker of liberation lives his life. So what actions come out of me, what words come out of me, what kind of thoughts I entertain in my mind, all these become important. Because his goal is purification of mind. And such a seeker who has thus purified the mind, for him, liberation becomes very, very easy. So what is the immediate goal? Immediate goal is called prathamikam. Lakshyam dvividham prathamikam charamam. Charama means final. Prathamikam means immediate. The initial goal. So the initial goal is, let me keep my mind at peace. Let me not get disturbed. Let me not negatively react to the situation. Even though I am tempted to negatively react, even though I am tempted to scold someone, get angry, even though I am tempted to give to the one who is irritating me, but I will not do it. Why? I have the bigger picture in mind. Every time I become angry, etc., I am training my mind in the negative direction. Negative impressions are formed in the mind. Every time I entertain a negative thought, I am training the mind in the negative way. Mind is becoming impure, and if the mind becomes impure, it takes furthermore time to attain that highest goal of my life. So keeping all these things, I handle the present situation intelligently. I positively respond to situation, at the same time keeping the mind pure. Right? The sign of pure mind is, it is cheerful, it is peaceful, it is sattvic, it has clear thinking. These are all the signs that the mind is pure. That mind is available for discipline. The mind listens to you. You remain the master of your mind. If these are all indications to say that your mind is pure. Just opposite is the indications of impure mind. If you find that your mind is not listening to you, rather you are listening to your mind. If you find that the mind is rajasic and tamasic, if the mind is disturbed, all these are indications mind is impure. So what does the seeker do? Every situation in life, for him, it is an opportunity. It is a stepping stone for him to move towards the goal. There is nothing called separate spirituality and separate materialism, nothing like that. Some people have this question. Swamiji, tell me, how many hours I should spend for the world and how many hours I should spend in spirituality? So what does it mean? Spirituality is different from life. For a true seeker, there is nothing called spiritual life and worldly life, two things. No, it's one and the same thing. As and when I am fulfilling my responsibilities in the world, through that fulfilling of responsibilities, I am taking care of the purification of mind also. So on one side I am fulfilling the responsibilities, on the other side I am evolving spiritually. On one side there is material progress, on the other side there is spiritual evolution. Both take place simultaneously. The world is a creation of God. You can't practice spirituality by renouncing the world. It is not possible. In and through the world, you have to practice spirituality. So such an intelligent seeker, he will consider every situation as an opportunity in reaching towards his ultimate goal. This way when you live, you are indeed living intelligently. Right? So this chapter is over. So let us just summarize whatever we have seen. So how did it begin? All people, sarve janaha safalatam aptum yogyaha samarthaha. All people in this world, it is their birthright to succeed. No one is born here in this world to fail. And if at all you are failing, understand, you alone are responsible. Don't blame God. We have the freedom to succeed. We have the freedom in choosing our field of action. Swatantrata is there. At the same time, Shakti is also there. Equipments are there. Potentials are there. Freedom is there. Use these things intelligently. How to enhance this ability? Your abilities can be enhanced when you have a noble goal in life. Mahatma Gandhi was an ordinary person, but the moment he was charged by a goal called independence of the nation, then all his potential started coming forth, isn't it? In everyone's life you will find, anyone whoever has attained greatness, you will find somewhere in life he was inspired by some great goal. Any person, you see, any successful person. So therefore, tasam abhivyaktyaर्थम tu jīvane sreshtham lakshyam avasyakam. A noble goal is necessary in order to bring out all the hidden, latent potentials in us. Just like climbing a rope. If you want to climb up, you must have a rope, and that rope must be tied to something higher than you, isn't it? That tying the rope higher than you is called fixing the goal. And then you start climbing the rope. So even while achieving that goal, many times that goal may take many years to fulfill, but then it might lead to discouragement. So what is the suggestion given? May this goal be split into small goals. Prathamikam charamam. Just like if you want to climb the terrace, you don't jump into the terrace. What do? The height is divided into small steps, climbable steps, isn't it? That's how you climb a building. Climbable steps. The height is divided into climbable steps, and you climb these steps comfortably. So at that time, what is your only goal? The only goal is climb the step which is in front of me. You're not bothered about the height of the building and all. You are just bothered about one thing. What is that? Next step I have to climb. So in the same way, the whole life, if you have a what you call ultimate goal, let that goal be divided into small goals. Those goals which take you to the ultimate goal. Prathamikam charamam. So you must have an immediate goal, an intermediate goal, an end goal, and also a lifetime goal. And then start achieving those small goals. Over a period of time, you will find you have attained the ultimate goal. These are the tips. Tomorrow we will see the next chapter, empowerment. How to multiply your abilities. How to multiply 1,00,000 times. Not 1 time or 2 times or 10 times. Lakhs of times. It is possible. So if you have potential as X, you can multiply it with 1,00,000 times. How to do it? It's possible. That we will see tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.